Hello and welcome to another speaking practice video. Today, 4 students from class IELTS 40, they are practicing their speaking now. So let's go to part 1 now, and IELTS speaking, part 1. We did topic number 15 already. Let's go to 16. Remembering people's names. Nhớ tên của người khác. Remembering people's name. So, Miss Yeo, please, is it easy to remember the names of people?
I think no, for me it's not easy at all. I usually forget people names, so I have to repeat several times. Sometimes when I meet the person, I forgot their name, which is really weird for me. So I think I have to imagine their name with an image.
Right. A name with an image. I see.
So that reminded me their name or their characteristics. So I can remember it.
Right, I see. Okay, so Phúc, how about you? Is it easy to remember the names of people?
I think it's quite easy to remember names of people.
People or pupil?
People.
People.
I think it's quite easy because, like, when I met someone, I just ask the name.
When I meet someone, When I meet someone,
I just ask the name, and then, like, when all the conversation, I will call them by name. Call them by
their name. Call me by your name. That sounds like a very famous, gay movie. Call me by your name.
Yes.
Yes, it's a very good movie. Call Me by Your Name. It's a very famous gay movie.
It's the name of the music.
Yes, it is. Call Me by Your Name. Exactly. I've watched it. It's really good. Yeah. Anyway, so Miss Thuận, how about you? Is it easy to remember the names of people?
Oh, I think it is difficult for me to remember the names of people because I don't have a good memories, and
let's just say I tend to have the memory. Let's just say I tend to have a memory of a goldfish. Tôi có xu hướng có cái não cá vàng lắm. I tend to have the memory of a goldfish, maybe.
And the memory of a goldfish.
A goldfish.
And you know that I had to repeat or write their name for many times to remember it. But
to pry, you mean to pry?
Try cái viết lại.
To write. I have to write down the names of people.
The names, and to remember that if I'm not meet them regularly, I easily forget their name.
I see. So, Young, what do you do to help you remember people's names better?
So I actually have a really bad about remember.
Let's try again. That's not good. Try again. Sai ngữ pháp. Wrong grammar. What do you do to help you remember people's names better?
So to remember people's names better, I think it's took a picture with them. So
I can take a picture. I can take a picture with them, and
I can take a picture with them, and so after that I can remember their name.
Take a picture when I'm after that I can remember the name. Interesting. So for me, for example, it's hard for me to remember people's names actually, unless they talk to me many times, or they basically they leave an impression on me, họ để lại ấn tượng gì cho tôi. Unless they leave an impression on me, then I can remember them. But normally people are boring, you know. So normally it's hard to remember the names of people, really. And so when I need to like for example, when I need to find people, sometimes I struggle to recall, nhớ lại, to recall names. I struggle to recall name. Tôi gặp vấn đề khó khăn khi mà tôi phải gợi lại, nhớ lại mấy cái tên đó. So you have to use the right word. Remember or recall, okay? Be careful. So now, Miss Yu, what do you do to help you remember people's name better?
Well, I usually attach the name.
Attach. You mean attach?
Attach the name of the people to an image or some characteristics that remind me about their name. So when I see people, I can think of images or characteristics. So
characteristics. Xuống giọng nha. Characteristics. That reminds me about their names.
That remind me their
reminds
name.
Reminds me about their names. So, Miss Yu, will you forget other people's names if they also forget your name? Nếu người ta quên tên mình, liệu em có quên tên của người khác luôn không?
I don't think so. Once I remember someone's name, I rarely forget their name. But if they forget my name, it's okay.
If they forget my name, it's okay.
I will remind them my name, but I never fall in that situation.
Okay.
So I don't think I could forget someone's name just because they forget my name.
I see. Right, that's not a good situation actually. Anyway, so Phúc, how about you? Will you forget other people's names if they also forget your names?
Well, actually, I don't think so because I don't know.
I don't know exactly how to answer this question, maybe.
No, wait. Actually, I usually tell for a string by my nickname, not my real name. So
You mean you often tell people to call you by your nicknames, right?
yes. So it's acceptable that they don't remember my name.
Right, I see. Nicknames. Well, nicknames actually helps people to remember you better, actually. Thực sự tên lóng, tên mấy cái tên mà thân thương, tên nicknames giúp con người ta nhớ mình tốt hơn, actually. Okay, so Phúc, do you think it is important to remember people's names? Em có nghĩ nhớ tên con người ta là một điều quan trọng không? Like, should we remember people's names? Is it important? Think about the fact that the name is the first thing that their parents gifted them with, okay? Cái thứ đầu tiên mà cha mẹ tặng cho con chính là cái tên. The first thing that the parents gifted their children with is the names, are their names. So, so to them, it's something dear to their heart, or maybe if they don't like their names, they will hate it. But okay, that's just something to think about. Do you think it is important to remember people's names?
Well, actually, it's depend on the conversation. Like the normal conversation between you and your friends is maybe you don't need to call a name, but like the conversation to like để làm việc này.
To work.
Like giống như là mấy cái buổi ký hợp đồng, chuyện ký hợp đồng.
Say again.
Mấy cái buổi nói chuyện ký hợp đồng á.
Like at a time when people have to sign contract. At the time when people have to sign contract. Yeah, that is when you have to remember people's names. Yes.
Yes.
But in other situations, like normal conversation, I don't think it's that important, right?
Yeah.
But people will eventually ask you about their names. I'm sure. I think.
I don't think so.
Nhớ tôi là ai không? Like they will ask you what's my name, and then you'll be like it's like it's hard sometimes, you know. Unless you are unless you are someone who does not want to address people by their name at all. Động từ to address. To address people's by their names. Gọi con người ta bằng cái danh xưng, bằng cái danh của họ, bằng cái tên của họ. Unless you want to address people by their names, but some cases you don't have to. Like when I was in secondary schools, they assigned each student with a code, just like in a prison, you know. And they call the codes. They don't call by the name, which I think it sounds like in a prison, and it sounds terrible, I think. And that's just my story, okay? So what do you think, folks? Do you think it's important to remember people's names?
Well, I think it's dependent on conversations. Like normal conversation with your friends or with a stranger, I think it's not that important. But like when you at the time when people have to sign contract, I think you need to remember your partner names.
Remember what?
Your partner.
Your partner's names, I see. Of course, your partner's name you have to know. Like sometimes, unless you have amnesia. Amnesia is basically bệnh mất trí nhớ. Unless you have amnesia, then you would not remember anyone's names, even your wife, your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband. You don't remember anyone unless you have amnesia. I still think it's important to remember people's names. Miss Huan, what do you think? Is it important to remember people's names?
Well, I think it depends if they really thân thiết với mình á thầy.
If they are really close to you.
If they are close to me, I think it is important to remember their names. But if people is strange and I don't meet them regularly, I think it's not important. And yeah, Just that.
Just that. Very good. All right. So, Miss Yeo, please. What do you think? Is it important to remember people's names?
Yes, totally. The name is the first identity of a person. So it's very important to remember someone's name. Especially when you meet them, and when you want to make friends, or want to learn from them something, and you ask for the advice. So if you don't remember their name, so it is really awkward.
Awkward, very awkward. It's awkward. Okay, so we have a word here. Awk, o kéo dài. Awk. Word. Awkward. Awkward. Kỳ cục lắm. Nó rất là kỳ cục luôn á. Một tình huống kỳ cục lắm. It's very awk. Awkward. O và awkward. It's very awkward. I think so too. So, Mr. Young, what do you think? How do you feel when people cannot remember your names?
It's like at that time, it's really like you want to escape from that place really fast.
You mean you at that time I just want to escape from that situation?
Yeah.
But why?
And usually because it's awkward, as she said. Maybe it's like if I think at that time, if I don't remember the people names, I will find a way to remember them, like asking my friends at the other side to remember, or try to use some pronouns that not using the name instead.
Like pronouns, using some pronouns, dùng những đại từ không phải tên của họ.
Yeah.
Anh ta, cô ta, hắn ta.
Yeah.
Oh well. So, Young, do any name have special meanings in your country? Like, as far as I know, all the names in Vietnam have some meaning.
Yeah.
For example, the name Phúc actually means happiness.
Yeah.
And the name Đức actually means morality, good moral. Đạo đức tốt, good morals.
In my countries, every name has their own meaning, and it's always the good meaning in every of their names. Like
of course, because the name, who wants to have a bad name, right? With a bad meaning.
Wednesday. So my name means sun or solar.
Yes, the solar system or the sun. Yes.
Another name is translated from the old Vietnamese, which combine from the Chinese and Vietnamese language together to be in that name of every single person.
Okay, I see. Right. So, Miss Yeo, what do you think? How do you feel when people cannot remember your names? Your name.
I will feel sad, of course, because I love my name. I prefer people to remember my name.
Prefer or refer? Careful.
Prefer.
I prefer people to.
I prefer people to remember my name. So if someone, but I understand that sometimes people had a bad memory. So it's okay if they are not so close to me. I think it's normal if someone just forget your name. But if they remember my name, I think I will have a tendency to like them more.
Of course, you have a tendency to like them more. Of course, có xu hướng thích họ hơn. Oh. Aisha, what are you doing? I remember your name, you see. Of course, because I feed them. I feed her every day, and my other cats too. The Phúc said to me that not all the names carries a good meaning. And Phúc said that he had a elementary school friend named Failure. How is it possible? Oh yeah, I saw that. I saw some names are just really weird.
Failure.
Ai nè? Dạ. Có một cái câu chuyện ở bên xã ở vùng quê á, có một ông làm khai sinh rất là trễ cho con, khai sinh làm trễ 1 năm lận, xong bị xã phạt 4.500 tiền làm khai sinh trễ. Xong rồi cái ông tức quá, ông mới ghi là ông họ Mai. Xong ông mới tức quá, ông ghi vô cái tờ khai sinh là cái gì? Con tên gì? Mai phạt 4.500. Yeah. Oh my god. This is a story about someone who get fined for for doing the paperwork for their newborn child late, and they got a fine, and in a revenge, in an act of revenge, là một cái hành vi mà báo thù. In an act of revenge, they named their child with their bad situation as well, and that is terrible. Anyway, so Phúc, what do you think? Do any name have special meanings in your country?
Well, I think my opinion is not all the name in my country is special. Like some name like dân tộc thiểu số là gì vậy?
Say again.
Dân tộc thiểu số.
Minority group. We have the ethnic groups. Những nhóm dân tộc thiểu số. We have the ethnic groups in Vietnam with strange names.
Yep. And I think that all the names I was kiểu đã gặp qua.
I think all the names I've already seen.
Origin is not special. I think it's not special.
Okay, so it's just so common that you don't think it's any thing special. I see.
I think it's the name is the name.
The name is just a name. No, actually, it has a meaning, and it holds. Let's just say it embodied or it encompasses. Nó mang, nó chứa đựng, or it holds the wishes of your parents, you know. Nó mang, nó chứa đựng những cái điều ước, điều mong mỏi của cha mẹ. It embodied or it encompasses or it holds the wishes of your parents. Because, like, for example, if someone name you the name, for example, Thuận, they want the child to be compatible with everyone. Muốn đứa con nó phải hợp tính với tất cả mọi người chẳng hạn, something like that, I think. And it's easy to raise that child, something like that, you know. So I do believe that every name has a meaning. Like, for example, the name TRAN in Vietnam can often means that a beautiful lady, for example. Or the name Hằng. Actually, I haven't seen any Hằng who's like, you know, easygoing. No, they're not. Most Hằng I know, they are quite active and strong, powerful, I think. Anyway, so let's go on to part 2 and part 3, shall we? We can discuss the names later if we want to. Now, so okay, so we have 14 here. Describe a piece of local news that you are interested in. It's a local news. It means that it's a news in Ho Chi Minh City or in the place that you are living in, okay? Not international, not national news, but it's a local news. Nó là miêu tả một cái mẫu tin tức địa phương mà các bạn hứng thú. Tin tức địa phương tức là nó không phải tin tức quốc tế, cũng không phải tin tức quốc gia. Nó là ở cái vùng các bạn đang ở thôi. It's a local news, so you should say a piece of news in your place of residence, like a place, the city that you're living in. And remember, news is uncountable, okay? So you have to use a piece of news. Nhớ là news không đếm được nha, phải dùng chữ a piece of news. You should say what it was about. Cái tin tức địa phương nó là về cái gì. Where you saw, heard it. Bạn đã nghe nó hoặc là thấy nó ở chỗ nào. Who was involved? Người nào, có những người nào đã tham gia vào. Explain why you were interested in it. Và giải thích tại sao bạn lại hứng thú vào cái tin đó. And you have part 3 of news. Where do people get the news in your country? Con người ta lấy tin tức ở đất nước bạn. Ở đâu? Tức là đất nước bạn, trong đất nước bạn á, con người ta thường lấy tin tức từ cái nguồn nào? Like what social media? Is it from TV, from newspapers, from the internet, from radio, or from anything? Hay là truyền miệng? Or from word of mouth? We call word of mouth. Truyền miệng. From word of mouth. Từ cái miệng mà ra, tức là truyền miệng. Or from any other means. You know, sometimes people text message each other. Text messages. Đôi khi con người ta biết tin thông qua những tin nhắn. You know, text messages. People can know each other through calls. Có thể những cuộc gọi ha. Or they can get news from like the internet, social media, mạng truyền thông xã hội chẳng hạn. And then you have part 3 of news. Where do people get the news in your country? Con người ta lấy tin tức ở đất nước bạn ở đâu ra? Con người ta ở đất nước bạn, các con người ta lấy tin từ đâu ra? Tức là từ nguồn nào á? And why? Explain further. Give example, something like that. Có thể cho ví dụ một cái tin nào đó. Like for example, how do you find me to study class? Làm thế nào các bạn tìm được thầy John để học? It's through my video, right? So that's
Yes.
where you can get the news too, from videos. How do you know when to receive, let's say, a discount from the supermarket? It's from a friend, right? Sao biết được lúc nào nhận được giảm giá siêu thị hay giảm giá bằng mua đồ? Bạn bè nó rỉ tai mình. From friends. Something like that. It doesn't have to be something big, you know. Just think like normal life. Nó chẳng phải là cái gì to tát đâu. Chỉ là những cái thông thường trong cuộc sống thôi. Okay, what kind of news do people like to read? Con người ta thích đọc những cái loại tin tức như thế nào? So we have a lot of kind of news, yeah? News about what? We can have news about politics, chính trị. News about war, chiến tranh. We have news about earthquakes, natural disasters, những thảm họa thiên nhiên. Like for example, in the earthquake in Turkey that killed about 20,000 people already, you know, chết 20.000 người ở Thổ Nhĩ Kỳ và Syria. News about what's it called? Corrupted people that were arrested. Những người mà tham nhũng bị bắt được, bị công an bắt chẳng hạn. or news about new development in the regions, những cái sự phát triển mới mẻ trong cái vùng đó, like for example new school, new hospital or something like that. But I think most of the time it's news about celebrity, những cái tin tức về những người nổi tiếng, like who's gay, who has broken up with another celebrity, ai đã chia tay với một người celeb khác. Online drama is actually news too, nó cũng là tin tức chứ. Thì tin trên mạng thực sự của mấy cái tin đó cũng là tin. Okay. And you should explain why people like what age group, những nhóm tuổi nào con người ta thích những cái tin đó. Like for example, most of the people in from the age of 40 or onward, they like to listen to national news, like things that matter. Like for example, news about tax. Những người trên 40 tuổi ta thích nghe những cái tin tức về quốc gia hơn, ví dụ về tiền thuế tăng, increase in tax, increase in petrol price, tăng về giá xăng dầu. Or they want to they are curious about politics. Họ sẽ hơn 40 tuổi họ sẽ thích nói chuyện hơn về chính trị chẳng hạn. Or about corrupted people, corrupted officials getting arrested, something like that. Young people, of course, like under 20 years old, of course they like news about entertainment, news about events, music event, you know, những sự kiện âm nhạc chẳng hạn, music events, news about what other news, nó còn những cái news nào khác không nhỉ? Can there be another news? Okay, you think about it. Nó tùy thuộc vào nhóm tuổi nè. Okay, so how can companies tell the public its news? Những công ty có thể nói cho quần chúng những cái thông tin của nó như thế nào? Like companies, like for example, big companies. How do big companies announces their new products, for example? Làm sao những cái công ty mới họ có thể thông báo những sản phẩm mới của họ để bán công chúng chẳng hạn. Or they can announce charity events. Họ có thể tổ chức những cái sự kiện từ thiện chẳng hạn. Or they can organize marathon, you know, marathon. Or sports event, you know, những sự kiện thể thao chẳng hạn. How can companies tell the public news? This question asks about the method how they can do that. Cái câu này tập trung vào cái phương pháp họ làm điều đó. Now, what do you think of the news on social media? Bạn nghĩ gì về những tin tức trên truyền thông xã hội bây giờ? You should know what to say. Next question, what do you think about public shaming or fake news? Public shaming, sự nhục mạ nhân phẩm người khác một cách công cộng. Or fake news, những cái tin giả. Well, we have public shaming. In that, we have cyberbullying. Việc bắt nạt trên mạng. Cyberbullying. Well, public shaming includes cyberbullying. Cái chuyện bắt nạt trên mà nhân phẩm người khác trên mạng hoặc là trên cộng đồng, nó bao gồm cái chuyện mà cyberbullying luôn, bắt nạt trên mạng luôn. And it also includes body shaming. Nhục mạ cơ thể người khác, mập ốm, lùn quá, something like that, you know, public shaming, body shaming. What do you think about those things? And you should also talk about how do we prevent those things from happening. Nên nói về chuyện chúng ta ngăn ngừa những chuyện đó như thế nào nữa. Okay, you have 2 minutes to think. Okay, let's get rolling now. Let's get it rolling. Okay. Mr. Young, please, you first. Describe a piece of local news you were interested in, please.
So there's a piece of local news I have just read about a week ago. So there's were a situation that a boy being stolen the phone while he on the street, and because he just focused on his phone, so he being stolen. And after a while, the cops acting is
The police.
undercover police.
The undercover police.
The undercover police just found the robber in just a while. So well, I really interesting about it because it's near my house, and it's near my house, and it helped me to
do
more,
what?
can I say, more secure about myself while on the street.
Very good. Now, so, but moment, it was a news you saw on TV, right? Isn't?
No, it's on newspaper.
It's on the newspaper. And why you were interested in it?
Oh, you don't.
Oh, you were interested in it because it's about your area, right?
Yeah.
It was about your area and the safety of your area. Nó nói về cái độ an toàn của cái khu vực mà em sống. Well, it's good then. Okay, Miss Thuận, please, can you describe a piece of local news you were interested in?
When it's come to a piece of local news that I was interested in. It's about the high school got fired. After the teachers at that school didn't turn off the air conditioners for a long amount of time, and at 4 p.m. Many old people who was doing exercise saw the fire and called the fighters for help, and it took amount of time to giống như dập tắt đám cháy thầy.
It took some time to to extinguish the fire. Dập tắt đám cháy, to extinguish the fire.
It take a long amount of time to extinguish the fire, and I heard that news from my mother, and it was really interested me because the school
It really interested me because
it's really interested me because it's situated next to the popular pagoda in my hometown, and so I think
yes.
Nó giống như nó cháy lan đó thầy.
So I think it was like a spreading fire. Một đám cháy lan ra. A spreading fire.
At this time, I thought it a spreading fire, so that's all.
Well, yeah, okay. At least people can just rebuild from the fire, and they will have new houses, new everything. Well, that's something positive to think about, Anyway, so Miss Yeo, please, can you describe a piece of local news you were interested in?
Well, lately there's no piece of new in my city that I were interested in, but there are a piece of new when I was so young. Maybe in the secondary school, it's the first time I heard that my city will have firework competition.
Oh, firework competition.
Yes,
Really? Cuộc thi đốt pháo hả?
thi pháo hoa.
Oh, but I thought that fireworks were banned in Vietnam in 1992 already.
Yeah, but yeah, I talk about the first time I heard that news, which is a long time ago.
A long time ago.
Yes, at the moment, everyone in my city is very happy. Were very happy because at the moment my city is not so famous for tourism like now. By the way, it's Da Nang City.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so it's still it's not so crowded like the present. So we were so excited about it, and we always the news, the TV was constantly repeat the news and tell us how were they preparing for
How they were preparing.
how they were preparing.
How they were preparing. Nó không phải câu hỏi, it's not a question, so how they were preparing.
How they were preparing for the competition. So I think that's the news I still remember that so far.
That's the news I still remember so far, I see. Okay, good. Oh, here comes Mr. Tung. I thought that he no longer study with us. But here he is. Okay, Tung, you better have a good explanation about why you were missing or why you were late.
Em vừa về tới Sài Gòn rồi.
Oh, you just arrived. You just arrived in Saigon, I see. Okay, good. Remember that we still have you in the class, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so who next then? Miss Thuận, right?
Dạ em gọi.
No. Phúc, sorry, your turn. Describe a piece of local news that you were interested in, please.
A piece of local news that I were interested in.
I were
interested in. It's about 2 months ago.
It's about what?
2 months ago.
2 months ago. Nó không có rõ ràng cho nên mới hay hỏi lại hoài vậy đó. It's not so clear. Your pronunciation need to be clearer, you know. Phát âm phải rõ ràng hơn. 2 months ago.
2 months ago.
2 months ago, yep.
2 months ago. My school was like a tiết mục hay là gì?
My school organized a competition.
My school organized a competition.
My school organized
competitions that like
yes.
20 class have to prepare a tiết mục.
How to prepare an act. How to prepare an act. Tiết mục. Trong trường hợp này cái chữ act có nghĩa là tiết mục.
Class need to prepare an act like to all the 20 class need to competitive, kiểu thi đấu với nhau này.
The class of different classes, they compete against each other. Nhiều lớp khác nhau, different classes compete against each other.
Different classes compete against each other.
Competed because in the past, different classes competed against each other.
Different classes competed against each other. My class, like the first time my class were lesson about my class, like I don't my teacher said that maybe our class wouldn't win,
but
kiểu như là nhưng mà vẫn phải tham gia này.
Nhưng mà dù có không thắng nổi cũng vẫn tham gia cái gì. Even though our class might not win, but we would have to compete anyway. So we joined. Nên chúng tôi đã tham gia vào. So we joined, yeah.
We tried, but the surprising thing is that we won the first.
What? For real?
Yep.
Oh. Surprising, isn't it?
Yep.
Maybe my class will get an IELTS 7.5. Who knows? Or maybe 8. Who knows? It might be surprising.
Yep.
Yes, this is a good class actually. So maybe you can get that high. I don't know. Maybe. Alright, so we are doing this part. We are doing this part 2 and part 3 in this one. Do you want to talk about it?
Okay, I will try to.
Okay, try to describe a piece of local news you were interested in. Một mẫu tin tức địa phương nha. So not national news, not international news. Không phải tin quốc tế, không phải tin quốc gia gì hết. Nó là tin tức địa phương em đang sống.
Oh.
Describe a piece of local news that you were interested in. Try it.
Okay. Actually, I just read the paper and
I read a paper.
I read the paper.
I read
the paper. When I look in nói báo mới luôn, kiểu như một cái app ấy. Thì có phải describe cái app.
Yeah, you should describe something.
Yes. So I look in the app like you can see new information.
Yes.
Some in this app and so I see in the morning I see have a new information. I watch
in the morning I saw the news. I saw the news.
So like just a girl, a little girl have a gyro when she was when she just 12 years old.
That's terrible.
Yeah, it's so terrible. And you know this her husband just
her husband was just 14 years old, something like that.
Yeah,
well, this thing normally happen, you know.
Yes, but I don't know why teenager in this time can do that.
You never know. A teenager at that time can do it, right?
Yeah.
Well, you never know. People. They try things, okay? And they don't even know what they're doing sometimes. And they don't know the consequences. Okay, so let's go to part 3 of news now. So, Mr. Young, where do people get the news in your country?
Usually, nowadays,
mm-hmm.
My people in my country usually get news from the newspaper, which is old now, but still the elder people reading it. much more like we will use the online newspaper or watching news on TV or YouTube, social media, I think.
Okay.
And I think maybe more like and at my age, I think we don't really read more news anymore, so we use social media right now.
Yes, okay. All right. So, Miss Yeo, please, so where do people get the news in your country?
Well,
talk about many different kind of people. I think it's better.
Oh yeah. I think there are many sources, resources.
Wait,
for
resources là cái tài nguyên. Be careful. So the word resources là tài nguyên, but the word source it's nguồn. Careful with these two words, okay? There are many.
There are many sources for people to get the news in my country. Nowadays, I think people prefer to read news on the internet.
On the internet.
I only see the very old people read the newspaper.
Read newspapers, số nhiều luôn. Read newspapers in general.
Newspapers. So I believe that most of the young people read the news on the social media such as Facebook and Twitter. Yeah, but from my point of view, they just interested in.
They are only interested in
dramas.
Online dramas, isn't it? Isn't it sad?
It's not a positive thing.
Of course, it's never a positive thing when people are only interested in online dramas. Okay. So, Miss Yeo, please. So, what kind of news do people like to read then? So, it depends on the age group. I think people should expand, I think. Nên mở rộng tùy vào cái nhóm tuổi, I think.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I think it depends on how old you are. So I think the senior generation, they prefer to read news about the politics.
Politics and politics.
Politics and how
politics.
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 Politics. Politics. And how read about how their country is developing.
Yeah.
Developing. And other generation like my generation, we refer to read the news about how the changes in the world. And how it affects on our lives.
How it affects our life. Affect không có giới từ. There's no preposition after affect. How it affects our lives.
How it affects our lives.
Our lives.
Yeah, and I think the most popular kind of news is dramas again.
Dramas, online dramas, celebrities.
All ages will be attracted by them.
Of course. The source of the dramas, where it's come from? Celebrities, of course. Of course, always. Or people who wants to be famous by dramas.
Yeah.
Well, Now, so Mr. Phúc, please. So what kind of news do people like to read then? What do you think?
I think it depends on the age. Like
Depends on what?
Age.
The age.
Like my father is about 40.
Okay, you move closer to the microphone, please. I can't hear you well. Okay, good now.
Like I think it depends on the age. Like my father, like people is, I think people as my age is don't like to read news. They just like they see it on movie or on TV or on the internet, like drama. But at my father age, I think is like most people as my father age like to read newspaper or read news on the internet.
On the internet, yeah. Okay, so Phúc, how can companies tell the public it's news then? What can you think? What do you think? Like, for example, if you work for a company, how can the company tell the public like it's about to launch new product or do events or something? Sometimes tin tức về tuyển dụng đó nha, like recruit, if they want to recruit people, how can companies tell the public those kind of news then?
Well, actually, I think it's quite difficult. I think they will.
They will what? Okay, it's a hard question for you. I should ask someone who has already worked, I think. Ms. Thuận, please, can you answer this question? How can companies tell the public it's news?
Oh, it's hard for me.
Oh, it's hard for you. Try to, okay?
Or
maybe Mr. Tùng knows. Maybe Mr. Tùng knows the answer for this one.
Yeah.
So Tùng, how can companies tell the public it's news then?
I think when the company want to tell the public a new information with they can to update in the fan page or
fan page. On the fan page. Đọc cho đúng.
On the
fan page. Âm DZ cố đó nha. Page. On the fan page.
On the fan page. And maybe they can to invest some promotion. No promotion. No,
They can launch promotional events, những sự kiện quảng bá. They can launch ads, you know, advertisement.
Yes, advertisements.
Đăng quảng cáo lên, launch ads.
Sorry.
Or run ads. Đăng quảng cáo lên thôi. They just run ads there. Yes. What else then?
Teacher, sorry, I have a call.
Okay. All right. So, Miss Thuận, please. So, what do you think of the news on social media these days?
Oh, I think that any companies usually publish any negative news and that affect
Affect.
That affects
affect động từ. We should use the verb affect someone. Không có giới từ. There's no preposition after affect. Careful.
Affect some of the age group like teenagers when they tiếp cận là
when they approach
any negative or bad news every day, they tend to have an aggressive, 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 they tend to cái gì thái độ hung hăng là aggressive feelings hả thầy? Hay là
They can be hostile.
Oh, hostile a long time ago. Yeah.
You don't know that word, right? Hostile. Hostile là hung hăng, muốn quánh ta luôn á. Muốn đánh người ta. Thái độ muốn đánh người ta. They can be hostile to you, you know?
yes. And so I think that some of the companies should have a good way to publish any news to make the people have good feelings and emotions when they are on social media. The social media is just the like TikTok or Facebook, just the entertainment tools people. So it's not worth it when they publish any negative news. Yes.
Negative memes, huh? For me, memes are actually quite funny. Oh, you talk about news, right?
News. Right.
I thought you talk about memes.
No.
Well, be careful with your pronunciation, class. Careful, okay? Phải cẩn thận phát âm nha. I thought you talk about memes, but you talk about negative news. Oh, that's why. I see. So, Miss Diệu, please. So, what do you think about public shaming or fake news these days?
Shaming.
Sự nhục mạ thân thể người khác hoặc là nhục mạ người khác trên mạng, hoặc là fake news, tin giả.
Well, I think this kind of news or shaming is quite popular. It's quite common now. Sadly, I saw
Very
many.
sad.
We are witnessing frequently. We are frequently witnessing people are being shamed.
Being shamed.
Are being shamed on the internet just by a statement. So I think nowadays it's really hard for you to impress your opinions or your
You mean to
thoughts.
express or impress? Cẩn thận nha, động từ impress là gây ấn tượng, express là thể hiện ra. Careful. It's very important. It's very hard for someone to express themselves, right?
Yes. If you're not carefully, you can be shamed. So, and also with the fake news, you need to keep your mind cold. Otherwise, you can be tricked. Bị lừa.
You can be scammed. You can get scammed.
You can get scammed.
You can get scammed or fooled. Bị lừa gạt.
Yeah.
Don't get
It's
fooled
not,
by that. Đừng bị lừa bởi cái điều đó. Don't get fooled by something. Fooled. Ooh, kéo dài đó. It's ooh. Don't get fooled by something.
So I think better to stay away with these things on the internet.
You know what? A lot of fake news are there online on channels like private channels, you know, những cái kênh mà tư nhân á. Private channels are full of fake news. To be honest with you, like some governors, những người làm cho chính quyền, governors, the news can report them dead. The news can report them dead, but in fact they're still alive. Có nhiều người á, mấy ông lãnh đạo nhiều khi trên mấy cái kênh lá cải á, có đăng lên là người này chết rồi, bữa nay chết, nhưng mà cuối cùng người ta vẫn sống sờ sờ đó. Well, that's why this is one of the reason why we have luật an ninh mạng. We have the online security law, you know. Online security, luật an ninh mạng, online security law in this country. Well, it's to prevent those fake news from spreading, you know. It's to prevent like the bad things from fake news. Okay, so but you didn't talk about public shaming much, did you?
Yeah. I talk about it first.
Oh, you did? Okay, but it's not so clear to me, I think. Now, so Mr. Tùng, what do you think about public shaming or fake news?
I think in Vietnam have many.
In Vietnam have rồi.
In Vietnam.
There are, there is.
There are
Có
many,
cái gì đó, there are, there is.
There are many public shaming or fake news, like public shaming this time. You know, have They are nếu một thông tin mới thì they are a new
có cái gì đó thôi là there is, there are.
Oh yes. So, they are about public shaming. Public shaming.
Okay, Dương, what do you think about public shaming or fake news? You?
I think it's not good, and it's still available until now and after that too, because there's still a lot of people still want to have a public shaming and fake news as a cyberbully as a enjoyable way to enjoy themselves. Like that really scary actually, and I think it's not really easy to make it fade away.
It's not easy, like, yeah, true.
Yeah.
Unless you crack down on everyone making that news. Unless the police crack down on everyone involved with making fake news, but I don't think they have time for that. The police are very busy with other more pressing issues. Cảnh sát thì người ta điên đầu, người ta còn bận rộn với nhiều cái vấn đề cấp bách hơn nhiều. They have no time to deal with those fake news, you know.
Yeah, so that's why.
So, Dương, what do you think of the news on social media these days?
I think it's all fake and it's not actually true. It have bait in it too.
It have why?
There's bait in it too.
Mấy bạn bị cái vụ has hoài luôn á, nhắc hoài luôn á nha. Giờ có mỗi lần cái has thì trừ 5.000 đi. Là cuối buổi có trà sữa, lớp có trà sữa uống rồi nha. Okay, try again, Dương. What do you think of the news on social media? Bình tĩnh, just calm down, don't talk too fast. Không là cứ it has hoài.
So there's all of them are fake news, and there's bait in it too, which like bait about the fake news make everyone panic and
panic. That can make everyone panic. We have a term I think you should learn. Fear mongering, gây ra sợ hãi trong quần chúng. So we have a word, fear mongering, like causing a lot of fear among the public, but it's not true. Thường có những cái người có cái thói quen mà hay rất là cực đoan luôn á, hay gọi là fear mongering. There are people who are very extreme. They are fear mongering because they can talk in a way that cause people, they incite fear, gây nên sự sợ hãi. They can incite fear in the public. So it's not a good thing. Có mấy người có cái tính đó luôn á, rất là nhiều người mà trên mạng hay có cái tính đó. Some people a lot of people online, they can have that kind of characteristic. They are fear mongering. They cause fear among people. Okay, continue please. You, what do you say?
Oh yeah, that's all.
No, that's not all.
Oh.
So, okay, I think that's it for this topic. Let's move on to another one. Okay, let's try this one. Oh, this one's too easy. If something is too easy, why would you do it, right?
Maybe they can do.
Nah, this is way too easy either. It's always too easy.
What kinds of weather?
Yeah, it's really easy. Don't do it. Okay, so explain. Weather, I don't think it's that hard, so. Thời tiết nó có gắn liền với cái tâm trạng con người, you know. Weather is related to, it's linked to human mood.
When rainy, you feel sad.
Yes. So there's a saying, I think, when it's rainy, don't take exams on those days because people are sad. And you might not be able to score a good score well on rainy days. It's not a good thing. Hồi xưa trong trường y á, mấy lúc mà trời trở mưa sợ lắm luôn, không dám đi thi luôn á. Tại vì cái người ta sẽ dễ bị tâm trạng thất thường và người ta nổi điên lên, người ta cho điểm thấp chẳng hạn. When I was in medical school, people are very, very moody in Hungary. And when it's like rainy weather and it's cold or rainy weather, people can be very crazy, you know, and then they can give you a very bad score. You don't want that to happen to you, so, you know. Okay, maybe I can just move it here and we can see the last question. There you go. Now, perfect. Alright, let's do 17 now. Describe an art or craft activity that you did at school. Miêu tả một cái nghệ thuật hoặc hoạt động nghệ thuật hoặc là một cái an art activity or a craft activity, hay là một hoạt động mà thủ công hay là hoạt động nghệ thuật mà bạn đã làm ở trong trường. You should say what you made. Bạn đã tạo được cái thứ gì, bạn đã làm được thứ gì, đồ gì. How you made it. Bạn đã tạo ra nó như thế nào. What it looked like. Nó nhìn như thế nào. Explain how you felt about the activity. Giải thích bạn cảm thấy về cái hoạt động đó như thế nào. And you have part 3. Do you think that the teaching of art in schools need improving? Why not? Needs improving means needs to be improved. Cái dạng mà bị động hơn của nó thôi. This is only the passive form, you know. Bạn có nghĩ rằng cái chuyện dạy môn vẽ hay dạy môn nghệ thuật trong trường cần được cải thiện hay không? Tại sao không? Think about like the hours, the number of hours. Think about the topics. Hãy nghĩ về những cái chủ đề. Think about the quality of teaching material and teachers. Cái chất lượng của những cái tài liệu giảng dạy và những người giáo viên dạy môn art chẳng hạn. So the teaching of art in schools in Vietnam, I think. In school in general, okay? Trong trường nói chung. Think about why the teaching of art should improve. You can talk about like now AI, artificial intelligence. or AI is slowly replacing jobs. So it is predicted that if people have a good creativity, they would be able to thrive in the future. Muốn có được công việc tốt, muốn nở rộ tương lai phải có được sức sáng tạo tốt. Well, then art teaching is actually something that needs to be worked on. That's just my ideas, okay? Think about this one. What values can art bring to life? Nghệ thuật có thể đem đến đời sống những giá trị gì? Think about it. Think about the appreciation of beauty. Sự trân trọng cái đẹp. Think about it nourishes good behavior. Nó nuôi dưỡng những hành vi tốt ở con người. And about it colors the world. Nó làm cho cái thế giới nó có màu sắc hơn. It colors the world. Something like that. You should think about this question. There has been research to show that teaching art to people can help reduce crime rate, you know. Có thể giúp giảm thiểu cái tỷ lệ tội phạm đó nha. Well, and it also helps people to be more creative, of course. Giúp con người ta sáng tạo hơn chẳng hạn. Okay, next question. Do you think that children should be allowed to learn any form of art that they like? Bạn có nghĩ rằng trẻ nhỏ nên được cho phép là học bất kỳ loại hình nghệ thuật nào họ muốn không? Tại sao không? Think about arts. A lot of art form can be very expensive. You know? Or it can be potentially dangerous to children. Có thể có một số cái loại hình nghệ thuật nó có tiềm năng nguy hiểm nha mọi người. Về sức khỏe, ví dụ ballet dancing for example. Ballet dancing, múa ballet. You know that the training of a ballet dancer, or we call them ballerinas. It's called ballet dancer. The training of ballerinas have to start from a very young age. Have to be starting from a very young age, and they have to practice weekly a lot, or maybe daily. And they suffer from pain a lot. Họ chịu đau cũng nhiều lắm, đau góc chân rất nhiều nha. They suffer from a lot of pain. In order to become good, they need to practice a lot, and then it's painful, you know. So some form of art might not be suitable for people, but some are good. How about martial art? Võ thuật. Martial art is actually a kind of art too. Nó cũng là một cái hoạt động nghệ thuật đấy. Martial art. Martial art. Martial art, chứ phải material đấy nha. Martial art. Võ thuật. It's also a very good kind of art, but not everyone is suitable with it, okay? Không phải ai cũng hợp đâu nha. Like, think about injuries, you know. Hãy nghĩ về những chấn thương có thể xảy ra. Think about injuries that can happen. Think about the price. Nghĩ về cái giá phải trả, the price for arts. Like for example, if you want to learn the piano, you have to invest in a good piano. You know, that is money, of course. Muốn vẽ, if you want to draw, you actually have to invest in paint, good brushes, canvas. canvas plus paint plus brushes. Nó phải có cái canvas là cái giá để tranh, màu và những cái cọ. And other thing related to that, which is not cheap. Không có rẻ đâu, mấy cái đó nhiều khi là phải nhập nước ngoài đó. Those things has to be imported and those are not cheap, you know. So it depends on the financial situation. Tình hình tài chính, tùy thuộc vào tình hình tài chính của từng gia đình. It depends on the financial situation of each family that they should allow their children to learn, you know. Okay, do you think they should make art compulsory? Compulsory. Compulsory. Compulsory means là bắt buộc. So there are three words that mean the same thing here. Compulsory, mandatory, and obligatory. Moment. Let me check. Obligatory, sorry.
Obligatory.
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 Obligatory, bắt buộc, ràng buộc. Mandatory. Compulsory, mandatory, and obligatory. Bắt buộc, ràng buộc. Do you think they should make art compulsory in high school and in college or university as well? Why not? Bạn có nghĩ rằng con người ta nên làm cho cái môn nghệ thuật nó là bắt buộc trong trường cấp 2, cấp 3 và trong đại học cao đẳng luôn không? Tại sao không? Alright, think about this one please. Okay class, let's do it now. Alright. Miss Photofuk, you first please. Describe an art or craft activity that you did at school, please.
Well, it was 1 week ago when I was studying art class. So my teacher, request me to draw, a person, like a character in a movie that I like.
Okay.
And I decided to draw a character in an anime. And I think it's quite bad because I didn't. I just drew it with my.
I didn't draw it with.
I draw it with my pencil, but I don't color it. So
I drew it because I drew it with my pencil, but I didn't color it.
I drew it with my pencil, but I didn't color. So that my picture has a low score. But I think
okay, is it picture or painting? Careful. Picture is when you take it with a camera, but a painting is when you have to paint it. Hình chụp hay hình vẽ? It's painting. So my painting didn't receive a good score, right?
Yep.
You have to say no, okay? Mà phải trả lời câu yes no là bằng chữ no mới đúng nha.
Yeah.
Your picture didn't receive, so your painting didn't receive a good score, was it?
What?
No, it didn't. Okay. Anything else?
No.
Okay, how you felt about the activity then?
I think it's quite. I think I'm quite interested in that activity. It has helped me to reduce stress after math class and literature classes.
Okay. After math class and literature classes. Okay, good. Miss Yeo, please.
Yeah.
Can you describe an art or craft activity that you did at school?
Oh yes. I'm going to talk about technology class. Yeah, it's not an art class, but we did
an art activity, right?
Yeah, we did craft activity in a technology class.
Lớp học công nghệ.
Yeah, so the teacher taught us to do the origami. It's weird, right? The purpose of the class is to teach us something about some mechanism, but I
Mechanism, âm đầu nha. Mechanism,
but I can't remember. So all I remember is we were doing some origami style things.
Nice.
We created some animals by folding papers. So it was really interesting. That's the first time I know about origami. I have to say I am talented in folding papers, I think, because after that class I know how to I was interested in origami. I learned more by myself, and after that I have a collection.
I have a collection. After that, I had a collection of origami pieces, right?
Yes.
Origami pieces.
Yes. I feel so excited and relaxed when I do the origami. And when after creating something like animals or like an animal or any interesting, it's like super small and it's cute. So yeah, looking at that make me happy.
Okay, very good. Now, Miss Thuận, please.
I'm going to talk about an art craft activity that I did at my school. I remember that when I just was a fifth grade student.
When I was just in fifth grade. When I was just in fifth grade.
In fifth grade, and I used to join this needlework. And this, I had to stick the button on a fabric or silk, if I'm not mistaken. And during this, I thought that it was hard for me to do that because I'm a person. But finally, I got a good mark for my teachers. So I think this craft activity was really great, and I love this. Honestly.
Okay, it's good enough, I think. Mr. Yuan, please.
So I was in the art class, which is a painting class.
I was it's an art class because you're talking about it in the first time. You're talking about it first time, yeah. Nói lần đầu tiên mà phải nói là I was in an art class.
I was in an art class, which I was forced to draw a vase, and so I tried by pencil with truly pencil, or I think I tried for about an hour. So it's quite beautiful, as my teacher said it, and I was scored at 10.
Okay.
I think it's really nice, and it gives me inspired to draw much more after that.
Okay, good now. So Tông Ai, your turn, please.
Yes. So I will describe craft activity when I was 18 years old.
It was a long time ago, was it?
Yes, but yes, that is a good memory with me. So yeah, so I will describe again. So every year at my high school, there's always a TED fair when they finish, when they finish years. So yeah, or each class will need to make a stove. So if
A show?
a stove,
A stove. Một cái lò ha.
một cái quầy hàng.
A store.
Cái quầy store.
Kéo dài nha. A store.
To make
A
a
store.
store. To make a store. So I made a store. I made a store with two table and a gate. And the first, I need to build a gate. So the gate, I use tomato palm slats and fixes it with the nails.
You fixed that with nails. You didn't fix it with wires, no?
Nails.
Okay.
Yeah.
Làm cho đã xong rồi cũng không tháo ra.
Yes, right. I know. Actually, it's not put out. I'm put in the trust. So yeah.
Okay, but basically people have to make it and then they have to they set it up and then they have to remove it afterwards anyway. So I feel like those activities just a waste sometimes.
Oh yes. So yes. And next is like a sideboard. Yeah, I think it's sideboard. Yeah.
A what?
Cái bảng hiệu đây là sideboard này. Sideboard.
A sideboard.
A sideboard.
Board.
Board.
A sideboard.
I use dây thừng là
I use
rope.
dây thừng, a rope.
Yes, I use a rope and put it together to from my class name. Yeah, and that is finish a gate. So when and I feel so interested.
And I felt so
interested because that is the first time
That was the first time I crafted. That was the first time I crafted something that works, right?
Yeah. And that is the lost of many time. Yeah.
Okay, so Phúc, please. Okay, good. Phúc, please. Do you think that the teaching of art in schools need improving? Why not?
Can you repeat? I think
okay.
I think it's quite important because us will help the children to sáng tạo hơn.
Creative.
To become more creative.
And I think but in another way, I think
yes.
Sometimes art, craft, or activity is quite dangerous. Like when they use knife or scissors.
Scissor or knife, right? When I would use scissor or knife. Okay, so it's quite dangerous. So you think people need to improve that, but how?
So nice.
Yes. How do people improve that then? Miss Yeo, do you have any idea? What do you think about teaching of art in schools? Does it need improving?
Yeah, of course. From my point of view, I think art is very important and it play a huge role in the developing of a child.
It plays a huge role in
Developing of a child.
It plays a huge role in the development of a child. Hoặc là developing the child something, nó phát triển cái gì của đứa bé đó.
In development of a child. So, but nowadays I don't think art is considered as important in schools. So it needs to be improved. There are many reasons to say art is to say how it is vital.
How it is vital, I see.
So art will enhance the creativity of children, and when a child do the create something like draw something or do a handcraft, they will have time for themselves to reflect their thoughts.
It reflects on their thoughts, right? And then
they learn how to make their ideas come true. So that's how the children can build their confidence and preparing them the tools, the mindset that help them in the future.
Okay, very good. So, Mr. Tong, please. So, what values can art bring to life then?
I think the arts maybe bring some values like creative and the color of life, and sometimes maybe they can to improve the creative.
Improve the creativity, right?
Yeah,
improve the creativity.
And yes, maybe more, but I don't know.
Exactly. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, Ms. Thuận, what do you think? What values can art bring to life then?
Oh, I think, in my opinion, I think there's a lot of values art can bring to life, such as actually reduce crime rate and scholar the world and nourish good behaviors, and especially nourish good behavior. For example, the children when tiếp xúc với những cái
when they are put in contact with
art, they easily develop their creativities. So I think that so that's any reason that I think art can bring many values to life.
Very good. So, Miss Yeo, please. So, do you think that children should be allowed to learn any form of art that they like? Why not?
I don't think it's necessary. There are some types of art that needed for a child's development. Development, but not all of them, because Actually, there's some arts take a lot.
Some form of art takes a
Money.
long time to develop.
And money as well.
So what does it mean then?
So it will bring make nó sẽ bắt bố mẹ chịu khoản tiền đó.
It will be a huge financial. It will be a huge financial burden on the parents. Sẽ là một cái gánh nặng tài chính rất là lớn lên trên cha mẹ luôn á. It will be a huge financial burden on the parents.
Yeah. It can cause a huge financial burden on the parents, and when the parents is under stress, I don't think that's a good
Under
thing.
stress.
Under stress, I don't think that's a good thing for a child. So, the children can be allowed to learn some forms of art, like drawing, singing, or playing piano, I think.
Playing the piano. Chơi nhạc cụ có the đằng trước nha. To play a musical instrument, you must use the. So playing the piano, play the guitar, play the violin, something like that.
Yeah, playing an instrument. Yeah, that's acceptable, and it's good for. It's good to nurture the creativity. But other things like martial art and ballet dancing.
Ballet dancing.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time and money.
Alright, so Phúc, you next. Do you think they should make art compulsory in high school and in college or university as well? The last question before you can go to your football friends, yeah?
Compulsory là bắt buộc.
Bắt buộc.
Compulsory.
I think it's not compulsory because, like, in a high school or college, I think it's more difficult. So art maybe art can be compulsory. So can be compulsory because another subject is more important.
You think other subjects more important? I see. Alright, so Mr. Young, please, what do you think about this question? Should they make art compulsory?
No. I think yes, because nowadays children just focus on their
Focus
phone.
nữa.
Focus. On their own phones, which is not really good, and it gives them the lack of imaginations and logical thinking.
Logical thinking. And nghe có vẻ cute đấy nhưng phát âm như vậy. Có vẻ cute đấy nhưng not in the exam.
And more is if you don't have art compulsories, they will just study and their brains will explode in some days because of learning so much. And
Because of excessive learning, right? Học quá nhiều. Học quá mức, học quá nhiều. It could be. I think we are learning too much now. It's already time. We should stop here. Okay, that's the end of my videos. Please like, share this video with your friends, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and press on the bell button next to the subscribe button so you can get notified about my new uploads, okay? You can also press follow my Facebook, but please don't add me on Facebook as friends, okay? Cảm ơn các bạn đã theo dõi nha. Các bạn hãy nhấn vào like, chia sẻ video này bạn bè các bạn. Nhấn vào nút đăng ký kênh YouTube mình và nút cái chuông kế bên cạnh cái đăng ký kênh á, để mà các bạn sẽ được thông báo về những video mới nha. Các bạn cũng có thể nhấn vào nút theo dõi Facebook mình, nhưng nhớ đừng kết bạn Facebook mình nha. Thank you and see you. Bye.